How's it going, guys? It is I, Nippertime, and today we're continuing the playthrough of Doki Literature Club. I thought it was actually the end of last episode when she hung herself, so apparently not. I did some research and said, is there any other ending? And apparently this is part of the game. I didn't see any spoilers, luckily. So apparently, yeah, this is just part of the game, so let's just jump straight into it. More reading, okay? I know what stands it. I see an annoying girl running towards me from a distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is my neighbor and a good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up, yeah. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let catch up to me. Wow. That's my game. Actually thought my game crashed. It's like it's an ordinary school day like any other. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. I always tell myself it's about time to meet some girls or something like that. But I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting by an average while spending my free time on games and anime. Okay, yeah, we know this already. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. Yeah, that's true. The school day is ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs? There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with it. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Nepotism. Monica. Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other well. We rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class, smart, beautiful, athletic, basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me genuinely feels oh, what did you come in here for anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for some supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here, or markers? I didn't. Damn it! I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? About that, I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. I feel like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make it something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one, a literature club. Literature? That sounds kind of dull. I don't like the glitches, because every time it glitches I think my computer crashed or something, because it's totally possible for this absolute wooden box of a potato PC to actually like do that. So yeah. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing, but there are only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. That's funny that you just blatantly told her that in her face. But it's really not boring at all, you know. You know, one of us committed suicide and she was just wiped out of existence by me, Monica. Literature can be anything: reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of the members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. What? Really? Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature too. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member's a member, right? Did Monica say a she? Hey, Neptune. By any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? No, thank you. go to the anime club, boy. I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance you could do a big favor, me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at very least visit my club, it would make me very happy, really happy. Please. Um, oh yeah, for you guys that sometimes wonder, hey, why at some scripts doesn't he read the words there? Because I have some form of dyslexia, I'm certain. I struggle with right and left sometimes, and sometimes I don't read what's on the page. I improvise. Sorry for that. Maybe it will someday come in handy to make the story interesting, because for the only interesting the thing that happened in this game so far is a girl that committed not living anymore. So you can see why I'm trying to make this game interesting. Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I could check it out. Ah, awesome. You're really sweet, Necktie. You know that? It's nothing really. Shall we go then? I'll look I'll look I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. Wow. Thanks, Monica. First time anyone said that to this loser. Except for his friend that has been wiped from existence, but we all just skip over that part. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. I timidly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third year classes and activities. Monica, full of energy, swings open a classroom door. I'm back. Why is there a glitch again? I brought a guest with me. Eh, what the fuck? A guest? Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Neptune. All words escape me in this situation. This club. It's full of incredibly cute girls. Except, it's so dumb. So let me guess. You're Monika's boyfriend, right? What? No, I'm not. Natsuki, the girl with the sour attitude whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. A small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. No, she's not. The vice president is dead, you dumb bitch. It's nice to meet you. Yuri would appear comparably more mature and timid. Seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet you both. So I ran into Neptune in the classroom and he decided to go check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica, didn't you I tell you to what didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to well, sorry. I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. In that case, I should at least make some tea, alright? Right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Neptune? The girls have a few desk arrangements to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica. So I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. Yet you have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate, right, Natsuki? Well, I guess Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these two. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places the teacup in front of each of us, setting down the teapot in the middle. You keep a whole lot of tea sets in the classroom. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom. Sorry, this classroom. Oh, don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a meal? book, yeah, I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not insulted. Yuri looks away. I mean that I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Neptune, what kind of things do you like to read? Ah, well, considering how little I've read in these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, all jokingly. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, in that can what that can change. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of a teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. This level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story is a foreign world is for such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But I like a lot of things. Stories with deep physical, what? Physiological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Oh, I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to the minimal level. At this rate, you might as well be having a conversation with the rock. Yeah, I remember this. I'd expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. What? No, normally it said it didn't I previously say I didn't expect that because it doesn't fit your personality. Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, I really can't put it down. Surreal horrors is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world. It's only for a brief moment. Oh, I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right. You usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the club last meeting. Ugh, it looked like you were working on a poem called Don't You Say It Out Loud. And then give me that back. Fine, fine. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that it's impressive. Why don't you share them sometimes? No, no. Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Oh, not a very confident writer, are you? I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have a writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable, even though enough to share hers. Why did I say even though? I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sit in silence for a moment. Hey, I just got an idea. How about this? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home, write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. I mean, I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monica. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I decide, I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. You didn't say this last time. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Neptune? Hold on. There's still one problem. What's that? Now that we've reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Monica may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decisions. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All three of girls staring back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I just thought. Hmm. The girls exchange glances before Monica turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Neta. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need four. And I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one more before the festival, I'm defenseless against these girls. How much that was actually new. I'm surprised that they actually brought a new form of creativity into this game by giving the characters more and new interesting dialect for me to read. How am I supposed to make a clear decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls, right? Okay, I decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Neptune? Yeah, it could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all this, I would be super pissed. Neptune, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thanks. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can and to give you a great time, okay? Ah, thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting, and it's a good note. Everyone remembers tonight's assignment. Write a poem and bring the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Neptune, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Okay, I'm not doing that again. I'll try that one. I can't make that sound of a girl. Yeah, I can I really impress the plot star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat. Yuri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow then. Okay, I can't wait. Cool. With that, I depart to the club room and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the three girls, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be able Will I really be happy spending every day at school in the literature club? Perhaps I'll have a chance to grow closer to one of the girls. Alright, I'll just need to make the most out of the circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Okay, so I think we're still gonna. You have unlocked a special poem. Would you like to write it? Yeah, why not? What the fuck? Alright, so I guess we're going off the Yuri still. So we need to pick words that sound like they're smart. So yes, we have to do anxiety meager. Massacre. Okay, she likes massacre. It's nice, that's always nice. Melody. Okay, that's the cute one. Damn, disorientated, yes. Melancholy. Yeah, melancholy. Infallible, whatever. Uh, Sensation is a pretty big word. Yeah, there we go. Intellectual, of course. Effulgent. Yeah, I can't even pronounce it. Disarray. Unending after image. Shame, nibble after image. Yeah. Incongruent. If I can't pronounce it, it's obviously the right choice, by the way. Unrequited love. Yeah, okay, I know that one at least. Not love, but just unrequited love is the first thing that came to my mind. Unrestrained. That's a pretty long word. Misery. Marshmallow. No, she won't. She won't be a marshmallow. Ambient. Yeah. Philosophy. Eternity. Graveyard. Yeah, I remember the graveyard one. Misfortune. Oh, I wrote a killer poem. A killer one. Hi again, that time. Glad you didn't run away on us. Don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last one to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks. What the hell? Okay, thanks for keeping your promise that time. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you drive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. What the Oh, come on. Like he deserves any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. Why did I want to say Momonosuke? I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Okay, cool nuts. I can't read, you fucking idiots. Move out of the screen. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Simply defeated, Natsuki flops back into her seat. I'm sorry, Neptune. We'll make sure your comfort first, okay? Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have an interest in picking up a book to read. Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now, so it feels right for me to do something like that, if you ask me. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you don't want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. Oh, no, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try and be part of this club. So even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Oh, are you sure? I just felt like, well, as vice president and all. Hey, another new form of dialect. Finally, that I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into a bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked up a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so you can keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is how is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew! Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think about it. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in her book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I feel like I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah, crap. I think she noticed at me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. But it only makes her hide her face deeper in the book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I muttered as sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so that's the book you gave me, right? I wanted to reread some of it, not for any particular reason, just curious. How could you have two copies of the same book? Yeah, that's pretty fucking weird. Uh, well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday. Wait, let me clarify. Don't say it's weird to have two copies of like the same book, because I know you get like limited edition covers or uh, the same book but printed like rewritten for today's time and stuff, so you can have two copies. But two exact copies is a bit weird, and I feel like that's the case. Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. Oh, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, I might have a hard time putting it down. It's very engaging and reliable story. Is that so? What's the story about anyway? Well, I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous looking eye symbol in the front cover. Basically, it's about a religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison. Okay, this is new. And the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. But the facilities gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to. Oh, that might be a little of a spoiler, but anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean, not the thing about the limbs. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it's going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came out of nowhere. Uh, are you not a fan of this sort of thing, Neptune? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive and on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. Wait, was it different? Yeah, she was first reading the back of the book to see that she doesn't spoil anything. What was the first book about? Oh, I can't even remember. But that was definitely not what it was about. It's just that this kind of story is kind of that challenges it's the kind of challenges to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but what? Why is the fun? Because the world is full of horrible people, and we are all worthless anyway. What the fuck? I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then, but I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, my whole body. What? What was that? Oh, they're not showing it. Okay, cool. I kind of forget to pay attention to people, so I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange as people stop me if I stop, and please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen, and it's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading, right? Jeez. Oh, that sound! My volume was full blast in my ears, and that fucking freaked me out for a second there. Yes, I mean you don't have to, but what are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into a seat next to Yuri. Yeah. Are you sure? It seems a little uh, apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just sometimes something is not very used to. That's it. Reading in company with that is reading in company with you. I think. Fuck me. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. All right. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel a presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just bathing. What the fuck is wrong with this girl? Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do. I don't really mean it. Mean to, sorry. I mean, here, this should work, right? I slide the book, my desk until it's against Yuri's, and I hold the book more between the two of them. Two of us. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. I feel like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn a page here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm and on the right side of the book. That way, if I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after she flips the side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready to turn the page? Sorry, I think I got a bit distracted for a sec. I glance over to Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. Ah, that's okay. You're not used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finished the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page feels like an intimate exchange. Oh yeah, I forgot how fucking weird this guy is as well. My thumb gently letting go of the top of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. That's a fucking weird thing to say. No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really. I was just thinking the way she second guesses things she says and all that. That's what you were talking about. Why did you guess? Sorry. Thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet, so I don't know why that came into my head. Yuri, are you feeling alright? Yuri's been like little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... My breathing? Yuri puts her hand on her chest as she feels her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Okay. That's a new way to end the book, I think, or the book reading scene. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Nap time? Something happened just now. I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything. Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh, no, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her. No, nothing. Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a while, so I figured we'll get started without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off from the book and slip it into my bag. This one. I should start before the yesterday. She seemed eager to read my poem, and I want her to. Now I'm putting in effort. Hi Neptune, having a good time so far? Oh yeah, good, glad to hear. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Neptune. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Neptune. I was going in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easier for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair, but I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imaginary and imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean that like a bad thing though, but sometimes I get the impression that she's totally given up on people. She spends so much time on her own, in her own head, that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to be indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so don't blame her for coming on a little strongly like earlier. I think if gets too stimulated, she ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Suddenly the door opens. Yuri, I'm back. Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we started sharing our poems with each other. Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more glad that you took all the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You should pretty you sound pretty confident for someone who claims they're not very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know. I see. Well, let's read it then. Oh, it's a long one. But he wasn't looking at me. Oh no. Confused, I frankly glanced at my surroundings, but my burnt eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking, or are they simply poems on a flat sheet of paper? The sound of frantic scrawling plays tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. Okay, so like with some of these poems, I always think that if they have a background effect, like where she talks about she's confused and stuff, if they put those feelings actually into the images and like gave the crackling sound of the walls or whatever, or just, you know, if you're confused, your vision's a bit squiggly, well, not squiggly, you basically see sometimes two of everything if you're very confused. So they could have played this very different and put in more of a horror effect with just adding those simple audio and visual tricks, I think. But yeah, that's just my opinion. So what do you think? It's very free form. Is that what you call it? Sorry, I'm not really a right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That's it. A lot of poems have been putting emphasis on timing between, oh, we already did this, so I'm just gonna skip this till we get to something new. There we go. Let's go with Yuri. Yuri reads the poem and that is a highlight of exceptional. Eh? What was that? Did I say it out loud? Yuri's first. Okay, so it's basically the same. Yeah, it's just the same. I'm just gonna skip this since we already did it. Next time, if you're going to take this class seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. What did you expect? Me to believe that you actually put an effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I just put in effort. Well, I did. Okay. Well, we all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of your first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about it. Fine. I'm gonna leave it off here, guys. I just need to. Oh well. Let's just see if I can quickly find a charger, because my earphones that I'm using, my headset, I'm using Bluetooth, so I need to charge them, and it sounds like I didn't. So I'm gonna see if I can charge them while I'm playing. Hopefully that will work. Let's just try and plug it in first. Yeah, okay, we plugged it in. Just see if it charges actually. Okay, it looks like it charges, so we can continue. Fine. Well, sorry, you'll get better anyway. I'll tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you'll probably think it's stupid. Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it's literally the same. So we can just skip this part again. Phew, okay, this is new. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities, even if they're just being nice. There's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all, I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monica is writing something in a notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration, while Yuri smiles sadly. What is this language? What was this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just mean the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to compare to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but I really didn't come out as nice at all. While I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it, which people did, by the way. Monica liked it, and Neptune did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Neptune liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress the new member, Yuri. That's not what you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous of Neptune appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours. Huh? And you do know he didn't appreciate my advice more. And how do you know? Are you that full of yourself? I know. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cute. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Neptune started showing up. Natsuki. I'm Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. Talking out your own insecurities on others like that. What the fuck? You really act as young as you look, Natsuki. Me, look. Who's talking? You wanna be edgy bitch? Edgy. Sorry that my lifestyle is too much of someone's mental age to comprehend. See, you're just saying that proves my point. What the fuck? Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know? If I want to prove anything, then stop harassing others with your sketchy attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? The only cute thing about you is how hard you try. Well, be careful or you might cut yourself on your edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad, you already do, don't you? Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with your head? Yeah, go ahead, let Neptune hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this. Suddenly Yuri runs towards me as if she's noticed I was standing here. Neptune, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. What? Let's go with... What the fuck is going on here? Oh, so I must go with... I left eye. Can I... Why don't we step outside for a little bit? Okay. Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. Well, we'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Some president I am, right? I can't even comfort my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes. But I never have it in me to put my foot down against on the others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend more time with you instead. Suddenly Natsuki ran out of the class. Jeez, she quickly runs away. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri is rocking back and forth in her desk with her palms on her forehead. Yuri? I didn't mean it. I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki or did. Neptune, please don't hate me, please. I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. You know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forgive you about it tomorrow completely. Anyway, the meeting is over. You can go home if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants me to say something, but she keeps glancing at Monica. You can go first, Monica. I'd like to stay a little longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. It's kind of sounds like you don't want me around or something, Yuri. It's not that. It's... Ooh, oops, I accidentally plugged it out for a second there, I think. Is it still charging? Okay, it looks like it's still charging, maybe. It's not that. It's just that I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Neptune. It would just be embarrassing with you listening. So I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble, but I really appreciate... What the... Hmm? Oh, let's see, hurt. Oh, she likes it. Pain. Ooh, Ooh. Uh, let's use shame. Can I be like, oh, this is gonna be a depression. Ooh. Sorry. Oh, bruh. She's not anything near excitement. Let's see. Oh, no, I thought so. It was just basically a page full of her shit. Um, Temptation, precious, misfortune. Yeah, what the fuck? What the fuck happened? Oh man. Let's go with ambient. I don't like this. That one. This one. Misery. I can. Ooh. Now they pause and it's time for the club meeting already. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple of days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greet me. Welcome back, Neptune. Ah, hi Yuri. I'm not sure if it's me or if it's Yuri's expression, but the weight of yesterday's quarrel still hangs in the air a little. Yuri glances over her shoulder, looking around the room. Natsuki is reading manga at a desk. And surprisingly, Monica isn't here yet. Suddenly, Yuri takes my arm and pulls me to the corner of the room. About yesterday, I really need to apologize. Nothing like that has ever happened before, and something just came over me, I guess. I wasn't acting mentally sound. Please don't think we're usually like this. Not just me, but Natsuki as well. Yuri, I'm happy that you were considerate and apologized. You don't have to worry about too much. Even though I've only seen her a couple of days, I could tell something was off yesterday. Maybe we were just a little extra sensitive because it was our first time sharing poems. But whatever it was, it didn't make me think any less of you. I had already decided that there's no way that you can be a bad person. Oh well, that's gonna be fucking ironic, I guess. Because the things that keep happening with her when I choose something of her stuff that and now that you're apologizing, I know you really didn't mean it. Neptune, don't say those kinds of things so frankly, they make me a little too happy. I'm really glad that you are such an understanding person, and I'm really glad you joined this club. Everything is a little bit brighter with you around. And sorry, what am I saying right now? Hey, yeah, have you guys seen Monica? No, I haven't. I was also kind of wondering where she was. Man, Yuri, I'm guessing you haven't either. Yuri is clearly taken back while calmly Natsuki is addressing her. No, I haven't. Jeez, this isn't like her at all. I know it's stupid, but I can't help but worry a little bit. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Natsuki, about yesterday. I just wanted to apologize. I promise I didn't mean any of the things I said, and I do my best to stay under control from now on. So, Yuri, what the heck are you talking about? Did you do something yesterday? Uh, Jeez, whatever is going, whatever's on your mind, I'm sure it was nothing. I don't even remember anything bad happening. You're the kind of person who worries too much about the little things, aren't you? But what the hell? What Mibbles, Sailcloth, Blindsight, Lifeline, and Rectic Pentality. What the fuck? I'll accept your apology anyway, it helps me feel better about it. Besides, it's kind of nice to hear since I was always afraid of you secretly hating me or something like that. No, not at all. I don't hate you. Uh, well, you're kind of weird, but I don't hate you either. Natsuki turns to me. You're still on trial, though. Hey, suddenly the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. Oh, there you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Nah, well, Natsuki was. I was not. Uh, what? What took you so long anyway? Well, my last period today was a study hall. To be honest, I kind of just lost track of time. That makes no sense, though. You would have heard the bell ring at least. I'm sure I must not have heard it since I was practicing piano. Piano? I was aware you played music as well, Monica. I wasn't aware. Don't give me more credit than I deserve. I guess I've been practicing for a while, but I'm still not really good at yet. Still, this must require a lot of determination. So I'm still impressed. Oh, well, thanks, Yuri. You should play something for us. So, you should play something for us sometime. That's Monica looks at me. Well, I am working on writing a song, but it's not quite done yet. Maybe once I get a little better, I will. That sounds cool. I look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Neptune. Monica smiles sweetly. I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that. Don't worry. I was hoping that I could share it with you anyway. I guess that's why I've been practicing so much recently. I see. I'm not sure if Monica was referring to the whole club or just me. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So I didn't miss anything, did I? No, not really. I chose not to bring up anything that the three of us talked about. Besides, Natsuki has already run off into the closet. Neptune, um, since your compliments put me in a good mood, I was wondering if you'd like to spend some time together today. I mean, in the club. Yeah, definitely. I planned on it anyway. Okay, can we start now? Let's find a place to sit. Uh, I'm being a little forceful, aren't I? I'm sorry. My heart just won't stop pounding for some reason. Don't worry about it. If anything, it's nice to see you have so much energy. Yeah, but I need to try and calm down. I won't be able to focus on reading like this. Take your time. Yuri takes a deep breath and pulls a copy of the book out of her. Wait, I just remembered. She was running out, but she said she hardly remembered anything. So was her memory wiped then? Because there was also a bit of weird dialogue. Right. I don't know. Actually, I have a request. Do you mind if I make some tea first? Not at all. Thank you very much. If there's one thing that makes my reading time here any better is a nice cup of tea. Not to mention you for yourself as well. Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small water pitcher from the shelf, with that kind of filter inside. Okay, can you hold this for me for a second? Sure. Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle. Whoa. I'm going to plug this into the teacher's desk and I'll go get some water. She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the teacher's desk. I simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts her speaking and mannerism. Especially because of her long legs, Yuri appears elegant and medocrypal. I don't see the word. Okay, may I have the water pitcher? Thanks, I'll be right back. And I might as well walk with you. That's okay. You stay here, I won't take long. Last time she wanted us to walk. Yuri is off. Did Yuri leave you again? No, it's not like that this time. She's just filling up the water pitcher to make some tea. Oh, okay. Sorry for the misunderstanding. 10 minutes pass. Yuri said she wouldn't take long. Is something holding her up? I'm bored, just waiting here, so I decided to go look for her. Let's see. The most logical place for Yuri would be the nearest water fountain. I start heading down the hallway. What's that noise? It's coming from around the corner. It sounds like breathing. What? A sharp inhale like something is sucking the air through its teeth. Are they in pain? I reach the corner and peer around it. Yuri? Ooh. 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 I think I saw that correctly, but I can give you some of my personal advice, Yuri. If you want to cut yourself properly, no, I'm just gonna stop right there. No, that will be too far. I'm back. Thanks for waiting patiently. That time, do you like oolong tea? Yeah, anything is fine. Very well. Reset the temperature of the kettle to 200 degrees. Now it's time to get a teapot. You really, now that I think of it, when she was came to me, it was also a hot day, so hot that the girl that died previously, who's Sayori, I think, was wearing a tank topish type. No, I don't remember, but it was a shorter. It wasn't like long clothes, but she was wearing what's it in fucking English again? Um, I just know it in Afrikaans. Trui. The long shirt she was wearing made out of wool. It looked like sweater. She was wearing a sweater. And that was pretty weird for me. So I also thought she cut herself, especially because she's into knives. You really do this properly, don't you? Of course, I shouldn't do any less making tea for others, even if I'm not an expert on tea or anything. uh, in that case, you'll only be even more impressed. Alright, boys and girls, I'm just gonna leave it off here since there was a few eventful things at least in this episode, and it's gonna be longer than any other episode. In any case, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, consider liking and subscribing to my awesome channel. And if you liked, consider coming back again. If you don't want to subscribe, I don't care. But thanks for any case, thanks for watching if you made it this far, and I hope I see you in the next one. Cheers.